Grab a brew and tune in to the High Ticket Review. In each episode, you'll get a rewind of the misses, makes, and definitely magic of live high-ticket sales calls from a veteran sales consultant, Will DeShazo, who has held more than 15,000 calls and trained multiple 8-figure companies, all while developing a simple winning framework to close your next call. From objection handling,
I'm gonna need to sleep on this,
to on-call close techniques, the High Ticket Review has you covered up in talk tracks that convert to dollars. Now, on to today's training.
All right, I got a question for you. If you are a high-ticket coach, I got a question for you. Or consultant, that counts too. When is the last time that you felt so jazzed and you were like so excited on your discovery call and you thought this person was for sure going to buy? Maybe you didn't feel so confident that they were going to buy on the call, and so they scheduled a follow-up call, and then you never heard from them again. And then you were like, I thought we had it going on. I thought, man, I was the answer to all of your problems. But you must have got abducted by aliens. You must have been hit by a bus. You must have gotten arrested for murder because you just completely disappeared off the face of the earth. When's the last time you were ghosted? You see, there's a lot of things that can lead to you being ghosted. But one of them is not solving the right problem for your prospect on a call. One of them is staying way too surface and getting duped, thinking what your prospect says the first question you ask, or maybe the answer to the second question you ask, is the real, what I would call like bleeding neck pain that they're trying to solve for, that they would pay tens of thousands of dollars to fix, that they would beg and plead on their knees to buy from you on the call, by the way, not on a follow-up. See, oftentimes you're not getting to the root of that. And for most coaches out there, it's one of two things. Either you are completely passive and you don't peel the onion back further, or you are entirely too pushy and you peel the onion back, but you're trying to probe and create pain where pain actually isn't. You see, you don't have to do that. All you need to do, secret, is ask more questions. Be more genuinely curious as to what's going on and what's happening. You see, if your discovery portion of your call, the questions that you ask, if you stop at your first answer to your first question and you move on to another question, you're probably not going deep enough. You'll hear surface level problems throughout your entire call. Problems like it's inefficient, or it can definitely be annoying, or I want to grow faster. Those are all like surface level problems. Do you feel, serious question here, do you feel like it's inefficient or it's annoying is going to be valuable enough for your prospect to lay down $10,000 for you and your coaching to solve that? Probably not, right? Probably not. This is costing you deals. This is costing your family income. And that's just not going to be enough. Those surface level answers to your surface level questions are not going to build enough urgency to get the deal moving. So there's a simple rule of thumb. Most coaches and consultants out there, they stop at layer 1. They stop at question 1. Maybe they get to question 2. Here's how I model. Here's how I coach our clients on this. One why, aka one answer, is the symptom. Generally, you'll hear the symptom, the kind of the byproduct of the problem is what they'll say with your first question. Then your second question, 2 layers deep, you'll sometimes typically get to the problem of that symptom. Okay, cool. Now 3 or 4 questions down, you'll get to the root cause, maybe a little bit of the impact. What's happening as a result, expounding upon that symptom much further. And then maybe 5 or 6 questions in, you're going to legitimately get the specificity around the impact. Exactly what's happening as a result. You see, you don't always need to go 4 layers deep, but you do need to go past the first one. Your job in discovery is to just keep digging. Just genuinely keep asking questions. Let the conversation guide you. You're not fueling the fear fire. Okay, that's not what we're doing here. But we're just digging further. We're getting a clearer vision as to everything that's happened. Until the prospect that you're talking to connects the problem to some specific impact. Maybe that's business or personal, right? Business impact could be lost revenue, missed quotas, negative reputation, employee churn, slow to get new concepts out there, right? Things like that, right? Personal impact could be relationship, kids, wife, friends, relationship with the Lord. Could be burnout, could be stress, could be health, could be financials, right? All of those are kind of personal impacts if you're selling more of a business to consumer offer, or better yet, you could land both of those if you're talking to a CEO about what they're losing in business and how that's trickling and impacting them personally. You see, right? Okay. You can stop the question asking around the topic once and only once the prospect connects the dots to the personal or business impact, or both. Because that's when urgency actually shows up. That's when your prospect doesn't ghost you and they actually decide within the first 45 minutes to 60 minutes they want to work with you. They want to put $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in and figure this thing out together with you. So let's go through an example plus like a little bit of an application here. Let's say you are a coach who helps business teams be more efficient and creatively flourish in their roles by leveraging AI. And particularly in this call, you're talking to someone who helps sales teams. You're talking to someone who has a sales team that is struggling, right? So layer one, you're going to get the symptom here, right? Maybe you as the coach are saying this. Hey, what do you think your team would tell you is the most annoying part of their role today? The most clunky, the most inefficient thing in their role today? Because you are an efficiency coach using AI after all. That's the question you ask. And your prospect comes back and says, well, they probably say they're spending way too much time on manual reporting. You see, that's a surface level pain. This sounds like it's the problem. That's not the problem. That's the symptom of the problem. Don't get fooled. So layer one, let's go down to layer two. This should identify the problem. Ooh, hey, so when you say you're spending too much time on manual reporting, how do you mean by that? Like, get a little more specific here. Can you give me a specific example of that? Right? Like, get a little narrower. Your prospect may say something like, oh yeah, well, like our sales managers, they're pulling data from like 3 different, systems and kind of clunkily stitching it all together. And they're doing that manually every week. Okay, now you're getting into specifics. Don't get fooled though, because you could immediately jump to your answer here. You're not there yet. You don't have specificity yet. You just know that they're clunkily adding things together. And you're like, oh my God, my AI platform would solve for that immediately. Don't go there yet. I know you want to. Don't go there yet. You still don't have urgency. You have some specifics, but now you know it's real. Now you know you can go deeper with the information you have. AKA, like you found the tree. Keep sniffing, right? So layer 3 is the root cause of what's happening as a result of that. So you may ask something like this. Oh, okay. Yeah, like if managers are stuck doing that every week, are there other priorities that are getting pushed? Like, how long is this actually taking them? Right? So I want to start to understand, okay, what is a result of them spending too much time clunkily adding those things? Because we know in our minds opportunity cost, if they're spending 15 hours a week there, well, they're not spending 15 hours a week elsewhere. So what's happening as a result, right? Your prospect may say, yeah, it's pulling them away from leading their teams well, from coaching their sales guys well. Plus, we don't get real-time visibility on the pipeline. And so like those pipeline review calls are always behind. So the team never really actually knows where they're at versus where they need to be. Okay, now the pain seems a little more obvious. Now we're getting down further. Now I want to attach a real number to that. Okay, going back to the result. This is layer 4, the business impact. Oh, right? You're going to relate. You're going to acknowledge. Oh, I see. Yeah. So is that impacting the reps? How is that? If it is, how is it impacting the reps? You see, now again, this is just conversation. I heard, oh, well, the reps aren't being poured into because the managers are stuck doing clunky things. Now I need to know what's happening to the reps as a result. Your prospect says, oh, for sure. See, their productivity, it's definitely suffering because our managerial sales coaching has just not been there. It's taken a back seat, right? So we've missed, literally, I think we've missed numbers the last 2 quarters. Oh, see, guys, now it's clear. Now it's really clear what's going on. You're sniffing up the right tree. You want to keep sniffing maybe 1 or 2 layers more to figure out exactly what the number is. See, now you got a piece of information. We've missed number the last 2 quarters. Okay, like what is the number and how much have you missed it by? So now we're starting to attach legitimate numbers to this thing. Specific impact, that's layer 5. As the coach, I may ask, missed the number. Oh, like what number did you miss? And how much did you miss it by each of the last 2 quarters? Well, the total new revenue number. You know, your prospect might say, I think last quarter's was around 100 grand. This quarter, it looks like we're coming up to close to 150 grand. Or it might end up being closer to 100. I don't quite know yet. We've still got a month to go, but we are behind. So now you know they're missing out on 200,000, upwards of $250,000 over the last 2 quarters. Multiply that out by 4, that's $1 million. Or $500,000. Sorry, my math is not great. That's $500,000. That's a problem worth solving for, don't you think? Don't you think that's a problem worth laying $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 down to fix a $500,000 problem? Of course it is. That's worth building urgency under me on, right? You see, you went from it's just annoying manual work to it's costing me $250,000 in new revenue. You took them from we're spending too much time on reporting to we're missing at least $200,000 of quota because our managers are buried in reporting work. So my question is, would you pay $15,000 to fix that problem? Would you pay $30,000 to fix that problem? You see, the beautiful thing here is that when you can master asking the right questions, you can begin to charge what you are worth, assuming you can actually fix this problem, by the way. We all have to agree there, yes. But you can start to charge what you are worth because the problem becomes what? The problem becomes bigger. Okay? So, rule of thumb. There are 4, 5, sometimes 6 layers to dig down into. Hot take, you're getting ghosted because you're thinking that the symptom to the problem is worth going in on and worth paying to solve. That is not true. You are telling yourself a lie. Okay? So continue to peel this onion back further and further and further, not by stoking the fire of fear, no, but genuinely by just asking more questions, becoming more curious, becoming what I would call an expert on your prospect and what they are going through. That makes the problem more necessary to solve. That creates what I would call like a bleeding neck pain rather than like I kind of sprained my ankle, tweaked it a little bit, but I'm good. You see? So go use this, go sprinkle this onto your next sales conversation, and I will see you on the next episode.
All right, you just listened to the High Ticket Review, and by the way, this podcast is completely supported by you, a high ticket closer, business owner, or salesperson. So make sure to smash that subscribe button to close higher dollar deals faster. And don't forget, go implement what you heard today. Opportunity is right around the bend on the other end of every single call that you take. See you next time.